Expecting a little one is, well, it's incredibly exciting, isn't it?
It really is.
But let's be real, looking at all the baby stuff out there, it can feel totally overwhelming. Like, what do you actually need right away?
Oh, absolutely. There's just tons of information and, yeah, figuring out what's essential versus just nice. That's tough.
Exactly.
So today we're going to try and zero in on those core necessities, for the first few months. We'll look at two main groups based on what we've seen. The real must-haves, the non-negotiables, and then the nice-to-haves.
Okay.
Things that might help but aren't, strictly speaking, essential right at the start. The mission. Just to give you a clearer picture, really, of what a newborn truly needs.
Sounds good. Let's unpack those must-haves first then, starting with general comfort and maybe early development. Two things seem key: swaddles and an activity mat.
Yes, definitely. So swaddle blankets, or those Velcro ones, they're huge. They kind of mimic the snug feeling of the womb.
All right.
Which is super soothing for newborns. It can really help with sleep, stops those little jerky movements that wake them up.
Makes sense. And the activity mat for tummy time.
Tummy time is just fundamental for building up their neck and, upper body strength. So that mat gives them a safe, comfy spot for it. Crucial early development stuff.
Got it. Okay, moving on. Hygiene. This seems obvious, but diapers and wipes, you just can't skip those.
No way. Absolute essentials. You'll go through more than you think.
I bet. And right alongside them, diaper rash cream. Keeping that delicate skin protected seems paramount.
Totally. Preventing discomfort is key. Okay, so what about feeding? Another big one.
Yeah.
For basically all newborns, burp cloths are a lifesaver. Spills are just, well, inevitable. And bottles, too. Even if you plan to breastfeed, having some bottles on hand is essential, whether it's for expressed milk, formula, maybe supplementing later.
Right. And speaking of breastfeeding, there are a few extra must-haves specifically for that, aren't there? Like a breast pump, storage bags, nipple cream.
Exactly. A breast pump is vital for, expressing milk, building supply, getting some relief maybe, and letting others help feed. Storage bags naturally go with that for keeping the milk safe. And nipple cream. Well, it can be a real comfort, especially in those early days and weeks.
Okay. Something else listed as a must-have, maybe less obvious, is gas drops, like Mylicon.
Yeah, that's a good one to highlight. Newborns often struggle with gas, and it can make them, and you, pretty miserable.
Right.
So having gas drops handy can offer real relief. It addresses a super common discomfort.
Good tip. Okay, bath time essentials.
Yeah.
Seems straightforward. Baby soap, towels, an infant tub.
Pretty much. Gentle baby soap, soft towels and washcloths specifically for baby, and a small infant tub to keep them safe and supported in the water. Basic hygiene and comfort.
Makes sense. So those are the core must-haves. Now, what about the other category? The nice-to-haves.
Right. These are things that, can definitely make life easier or more convenient, but you can manage without them initially. They aren't fundamental in the same way.
Okay, so examples would be like a sound machine, blackout curtains maybe.
Yeah, those are good ones. Also, baby monitors, support pillows like a boppy, maybe a bouncer chair, a video monitor.
All things that sound really helpful.
They can be hugely helpful for many parents. But the main point here, based on the info, is they aren't in that critical first few days must-have list.
So you can kind of wait and see on those.
Exactly. You can figure out what you actually need or want once you're in the rhythm of things with your baby.
Okay, so the big takeaway seems to be focus your energy and maybe your budget on nailing those must-haves first. Make sure the baby's basic safety, comfort, feeding, and hygiene needs are covered right out of the gate.
Precisely. Knowing that can take off a lot of the pressure, I think. You don't need everything pictured in the catalog before day one.
Yeah, definitely reduces the stress.
Yeah.
It lets you focus on the really important part, just connecting with your new baby. So here's a final thought to leave you with. While this list gives you a great starting point for the essentials, remember, every baby, every family is unique. What feels essential to you might shift a bit as you get to know your own little one. Be prepared to adapt.